last video was received really well. A lot of people are asking for a part 2. If you want a part 3, let me know. So part 2 is going to be a bit different to part 1. I thought that maybe I should explain what MS is. I didn't explain that in the last video. People might have watched it not knowing what it is. MS is when your immune system attacks the body's nerves. The signal that usually passes through the nerves can't get through properly because the nerve is damaged, and so the signals from my brain to my leg are weaker than they should be. This is only the right leg, by the way. It's a bit weird. One theme of questions that I kept getting asked was, why am I so open about it? Some of you may have seen me walking with a walking stick. When I first got diagnosed, a lot of people would ask me why I'm using a walking stick. A lot of the time I'd make excuses. I'd tell them it was an injury. Other people I told it was a fashion statement. And they believed me. I don't know why. I eventually reached a point where I was just getting asked all the time. And I figured I should probably stop making excuses and just make people aware. And so I started explaining to people what it was. I'd be selective with who I told, and I made sure that I had the opportunity to explain to them, most importantly, that it was not as bad as they might think it is. People, when they hear MS, a lot of the time they just think of a wheelchair. Thankfully I've not had to use a wheelchair yet. Watch this space. But the reality is, I could still do a majority of things just fine. I would explain to them that it wasn't as bad as it sounded. A majority of the time they'd understand it was absolutely fine. What I didn't want to happen was people to be overly sympathetic. I'm so sorry to hear that. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. And it's not that I wouldn't appreciate that kind of stuff, but sometimes it would just be a bit patronising. But then I started being open and I realised that wasn't actually the case. People were just supportive, people were interested, people would take the time to understand. I was like, hey, being open is not that bad. I'm gonna start being open, man. I started posting on social media. It made me really happy when people would reply, they'd ask me questions. I love when people ask me questions about it, by the way, so keep asking questions. And I'd have a conversation with them about it. And I got the opportunity to raise awareness. Nothing really bad came of being open, and I just received an overwhelming amount of support from people. Like, social media community, people are so supportive, man. I think maybe it's only my housemates who make... Everyone else is really supportive. It makes you happy to know that people are supportive. And so there's no reason not to be open about it. I've spoken to loads of new people because they've been interested. And so being open is actually a lot easier than I thought it would have been at the start. I know there are other people who might also have long-term illnesses who aren't comfortable speaking openly about it, which is fine. That I didn't have the confidence to do so for a good few months. But when I was open about it, it was only ever positive. I know there are a lot of questions in the last video that I said I would answer, and I didn't answer them this time. If you do want me to answer them still, then I'll do another video. If you're not bored of me yet, yeah, just let me know.